36 countries, according to the IMF, have either adopted the dollar as legal tender, pegged their currency to it, or managed their exchange rate against it. This is 33% of the nations of the world all submitting their currency sovereignty to the U.S. Federal Reserve. If or when the U.S. loses its reserve currency status, this will be a literal collapse in the entire global monetary system, a system that is built on lies, fraud, and theft. So where does one look to protect themselves? Why are so many of the people who see this crisis as near imminent recommending gold? Gold is the one physical asset that is held and accumulated by central banks. The very powers that are printing the fiat currency that is held and accumulated by the people of all income categories is buying gold. In BRIC nations, where they are clearly moving away from the dollar system, they are accumulating gold. China is both the #1 gold producer and importer. Russia accumulated a record 77 tons in 2013. Germany last year shocked the world when the Bundesbank requested all of its gold back from France and 300 tons held in the U.S. However, after more than a year, Germany has only received 5 tons from the U.S., which is nothing. China, in March of 2013, 2 months after Germany's request, imported 223 tons in a single month from Hong Kong. Here in the U.S., there hasn't been an audit on gold held in Fort Knox since the 1950s. North America only accounts for 3% of all global retail bar demand. Living in the heart of the fiat bubble, Americans especially have forgotten about the one true currency. With the nation approaching $20 trillion in national debt, our entire system is built on a lie. But this lie affects the entire world, since the US dollar is the world's currency. The gold market today has been so distorted by governments and central banks around the world that today, in an environment of quantitative easing, trillion-dollar annual deficits, and negative interest rates, you can exchange your fiat currency for an ounce of gold for less than the cost the mining company takes to produce it. In 2013, all-in costs were $16.20 per ounce, with an average price of $14.11 per ounce. Recently, gold is sold for less than $1,300 an ounce. Physical demand is currently setting records, with most of the demand coming from the East. Soon, North America and the world will begin to accumulate gold. The world is on the brink of a major fiat currency crisis. What is the dollar's most likely future? Are you overly exposed to dollar-denominated assets like your income, savings, and the country you reside in? Can you envision a scenario where the world turns against the US dollar? Gold is the most malleable of all metals, the money of kings, and a real sign of monetary wealth. Gold's utility is unsurpassed. 1 ounce of gold can be beaten down to 300 square feet. It is the metal that won't tarnish when exposed to the elements, and it is unaffected by most corrosive agents. 50% of gold's industrial use is for bonding wires, used for its corrosion resistance in high-energy electrical wiring. It's the reason you will never see treasure hunters looking for shipwrecks with dollar bills or other fiat currencies that have long since expired. Gold, not central bank paper notes, have real value.